The Sims 4 Business and Hobbies expansion pack is right around the corner, and I was lucky enough to get very early access to it thanks to the EA Creator Network. So in this video, we'll be having a full look into everything we get with this expansion. Now, I won't lie, I'm very excited for this because I've wanted pottery in The Sims 4 for a very long time. But that being said, I'm going to try my best to give a really balanced overview of everything we get with this pack. Before we jump in, if you do decide to get this pack for yourself, you can use my creator code JAZSIMS at checkout to show support of my channel. It sends a little portion of your purchase my way instead of 100% going to EA, and it lets them know that you enjoy my content. Onto the review. If you can see my little tag floating around on the screen, it's because this is a version that only has the base game and the new expansion pack built into it. Can't do anything about that, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to bear with. Open your dream business, make your mark, mold your furniture, and a world of possibility. Now, obviously these two refer to the two new skills that we get with this pack. I will just say I feel like this expansion pack is a little bit more oriented around business rather than hobbies. I think that's more of it being a naming issue rather than it kind of reflecting badly on the content itself, because there is a lot of possibilities of what we can do with this. So starting in Create a Sim, we got 12 new hairs with some really nice styles. I can really see the inspiration from the two new hobbies in these, and I especially like the styles with the fabric incorporated, but they're all very versatile and I can definitely see myself using these on a lot of Sims. Really liked the highlight swatch on this one. I'm definitely noticing the hairs from newer packs be much higher quality. We got 3 new hats, including a really nice beanie and this gorgeous beret with some really pretty colour swatches. I just know I'm going to be making entire Sims just based on this beret. But as far as accessories go, we only got these earrings. We did also get a really nice array of tops, from more formal ones to more cozy bookish ones, some layered and some more simple designs. The key is to look through some of the swatches here because there were a few that I wasn't overly hyped about until I saw it in a different swatch and I really liked it. I also really liked this relaxed shirt, no weird colour swatches in this one, guys. I feel like they finally left that weird saturated purple at home. Then the bottoms are pretty diverse too. I like how many basics we got here, and I wasn't necessarily expecting the whale tail skirt in a business pack, but I really like it. I think we got 9 bottoms in total, which is pretty good. Then moving on to the outfits, we got some really nice work oriented aprons, but also a really nice cozy pajama set that I wasn't necessarily expecting. A nice mix of casual, formal, and some more business chic. This looks so good. This looks so good. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of blown away by like the design of some of these. It's like they got people that really knew what they were doing with outfits to work on these. And we got some aprons which could be used for tattoo artists or potters with some really nice dirty swatches. I really like this detail for realism, and I kind of wish more Sims clothes had swatches like this that are a bit more lived in. And then some more formal dresses that I also really like and I could see being very versatile. We got 4 new pairs of shoes, and I really love these high chunky boots. I feel like I'm going to use these a lot. Okay, I love looking at the styled looks because sometimes making individual outfits for every single Sim does take a long time, so massive time saver. Oh my goodness. Can we just... This looks so good. It looks so good. I really love seeing thought go into these styled looks. I wish we had more of them. Then coming over to the masculine framed cast, we didn't get any specific male or female hairs, but either could pull off any of these. We did get some different tops though. I do like this really simple shirt. I hated this jacket until I saw it in a more neutral colour and I was like, oh okay, wait, very cute. Most of the other designs were okay, but I definitely had a preference for this sweater design with the bag. All the swatches are really, really cute, and I did also like this plain high neck sweater too. I feel like we really don't have enough basics like this, especially for male Sims. Coming over to the bottoms, we did get a few different designs like the shorts. Obviously you can untag the masculine or feminine tags at the top, so either can wear them, but it's good to see them actually make designs for both. For child Sims, we got some of the hairs but not all of them, and honestly I don't really know why we don't get all of the same hairs for child Sims by default at this point. We also got the beret and beanie for child Sims and a few specific designs in the tops category, along with 2 outfits for children. Toddlers didn't get any hairs, but they did get some of the hats, and infants got absolutely nothing, unfortunately. That being said, overall I absolutely love the Create a Sim items that we got with this pack. We got 2 new traits with this expansion pack. Shady. These Sims excel at exploiting situations and bending rules for personal gain, often without regard for conventional ethics or fairness. They thrive in mischievous activities and can influence others to adopt their way of living. And also Idealist. These Sims hold high moral standards and strive for a better world guided by their values and principles. They are committed to doing what they believe is right even when it's challenging. So these 2 are definitely like opposite traits. We got a few new aspirations as well. Master Mentor. This Sim wants to learn from talented mentors, then pass that knowledge on to others. And Esteemed Entrepreneur. This Sim wants to run a small business full of happy customers, either through business practices rooted in idealistic dreams or tricky hustles based on pragmatic schemes. Okay, so this is the new world we got with this expansion pack. So it's meant to be based off of Stockholm in Sweden, but also places like Camden Market and Manchester, Copenhagen, Amsterdam. So kind of European, but mostly Scandinavian inspiration. So we have this neighborhood over here, which has a lot of abandoned factories that have now been repurposed purpose. There's a lot of community vibes over here. We've got the Cooperman household, which is a small business residential. So that's the family that we saw in the trailer. They've got a pottery workshop and they also live there. Urbane house sharers, which is just a residential lot with some trendy looking Sims. Then we've got Sarpong, which is a small business residential, parent and a child. And this one looks like it might be a tattoo parlor. And we've got New Harbour Park, which seems to be a small business venue. So maybe somewhere that you can host like concerts and things like that. I'll be interested to check that one out. And then down here, we've got 2 empty lots. Then we have this neighborhood over here called Gamelvik, which seems to be more of a historical old town. Sounds really pretty. And I think it's inspired a lot by the canals that you get in kind of Scandinavian or Northern Europe. Locals here like to take it slow, travel to work on their vintage bikes and take long strolls by the old canals at night. Check out the central square for its hobby meetups and markets, or visit a lounge for a warm night of music. Sounds very cozy, kind of reminds me of the hygge concept, which is, I believe, from Denmark, which is all about coziness inside. So this is the Rouge Note, it's the lounge that they were talking about in that little description. Then we've got this small business residential over here with the Loden family, and from the icon it looks like it might be some sort of live-in library. Got an empty house over here, which would be nice to check out. Const Modern Museum. It'll be interesting to see if you have to pay to get into this, because I know with the new pack you can charge like entry fees and things like that, but I'm not sure if that applies to community lots that are under the thing of museum, or if you have to actually own the business for that to be the case. We've got 2 empty lots down here, and then I think my only criticism would be it would have been nice to see some more lots over in this area of the map. So this is the lot that belongs to the Urbane house sharers household, and oh my goodness, it looks so pretty. It's kind of that old factory vibe that was mentioned in the world map. And then over here it seems like we've got one of those little tables that you can set up and sell things at, and a kind of community area that's not actually a lot, but it's one of those like in between things that we get in The Sims 4. Over here we can order food. I think this is all stuff that we had in the game already. Maybe it would have been nice to see some like Scandinavian specialities in these things, like some food and drink. And a really cute bakery over here. Now this is Grandma Hattie Loden. I did see that she is kind of like her own NPC, kind of the way that Agnes Crumplebottom is as well. And from her we can order a bunch of baked goods. I really like her design. She seems really cute. Grandma Slay. Okay, so by the looks of it, this gives us information on the different meetups that are happening around town. Enjoy an evening for performers by performers. Facilities will provide a microphone, a piano, and a cooler for light refreshments. That's actually adorable. And you can also check by type of meetup. So if I want to see about pottery and pals, seize the clay. I love that. Bring your current project or start a new one among friends. Facilities will provide pottery wheels and kilns. So as I mentioned earlier, this specific early access version of The Sims 4 only has the base game and Business and Hobbies installed on it. So I'll be really interested to see if this actually updates with different activities, or if it's just base game and stuff from the new pack. Like for example, if you've got Nifty Knitting, does it also add like a Nifty Knitting activity? Okay, so a new interaction is lead by example here. I'm interested to see what that is.
Bamboo.
Yaffa.
Making a difference. Tina is feeling great about knowing she helped someone. It's moments like these that make the passing knowledge feel so rewarding. Oh, okay, so you can kind of like give off a little bit of your knowledge maybe by doing that. Oh, it looks like Grandma Hattie is also another idealist. It looks like this building's actually a rabbit hole of some sort. You can choose where your sim travels to from the building itself, which is interesting. I don't think we've had anything like that in The Sims 4 before. So when you do that, it does just bring you to the world view, but I guess it's better than it being completely non-functional. And you can also go train watching. I wonder what that does. It probably just gives us a buff or something. Okay, so it makes your sim come over here to these little benches, and I think you're actually watching the trains go by. It won't let my camera go any further, but I can go into first person mode and just do this instead. So I guess a little bit more immersive if you do want to. But I'm not sure what trains we're actually looking at. What trains are we looking at? There's no train track here. It's a car park. Okay, there are train tracks here. I couldn't see them from the first person view. And I suppose every now and then there'll be a little train go past on that track. Sugary cravings. Tina is feeling peckish and could really go for some sweet delicious snacks, maybe even make them herself. Why not buy a candy machine and try it? They can get sweet cravings now, that's quite interesting. Okay, so this lot is very interesting because it's kind of like a rundown factory, but it's one that you can buy and kind of do up yourself, which I really, really like the idea of. I kind of wish there were more buildings like that in The Sims 4. So maybe we can get this and turn this into our like little pottery. Maybe we can have like a rival pottery cafe or something. Okay, we just arrived at Terra Potter. Register small business, but there's obviously a business already here. Come on in. So it kind of works the same way as if we were visiting their house for now. And I'm just walking upstairs. I don't really want to walk into this person's home. Oh, okay. Just join her in the living room and start chatting to her, I guess. So my Sims can actually hold lectures even though they don't own the business lot, which is interesting. I do really like the animation of this. There we go, acquired the pottery skill. So it looks like you can mentor it before you master it, which is interesting. You don't have to be level 10. I did see a lot of people say that they were really grateful that we got animations with this pack. And although I think that they are really nicely done animations, I don't think it's something that we should be writing home about. It is an expansion pack, and I feel like if we don't get new animations for new skills in an expansion pack, that's actually more worrying. So I feel like that's kind of a normal thing to expect, guys. I don't know. I like putting things in first person mode just to be able to get a little bit of a different angle from the game, and I like it. I remember I did this on Crystal Creations and there was a problem with the POV camera, but this one seems okay for this activity. Oh, there we go, we've got a pot now, lovely. If you're wondering how to do the POV camera, it's Shift Tab. Okay, so with this I can glaze it, sell handmade ceramic, put inventory, view, break ceramic. Oh, you can place flowers in there as well, which is nice. Glaze with unbreakable coating, pottery skill level 10. That's interesting, something you can work up to. Ooh, I really like these designs. So we've got blush, contemporary, minimalist. That's actually really nice that we've got so many different styles. Okay, so on goes the glaze. This is really reminding me of the Great Pottery Throwdown, one of my favourite shows. Okay, so it looks like it's glazed and all ready to go. Very nice. Oh, and look at that. It's excellent quality. That's probably because we got mentored when we were making it. Okay, I just want to check this board over here. So it says hold lecture here, but it looks like we can only give a lecture on any skill that we have over level 5, which I mean makes a lot of sense. I wouldn't want to give a lecture on logic if I didn't have the logic skill. And then over here, I guess this is kind of like a showcase area. I wonder if we can buy any of this stuff. Doesn't look like it. I suppose it gives us a little preview of all the different things we can make. Okay, so it's interesting to see that the Sims will just casually come up and hang out in the residential area. So even though there's already a small business registered here, it seems like I can just register another business here, which is a little surprising. Oh, so we could just literally overtake this lot, which is kind of crazy, I'm not gonna lie. So it's quite interesting because from a client's point of view, you can just walk up and interact with the objects no matter if you own the business or not, and it won't charge you, which I feel like is a little bit disappointing. It's kind of like the pack was built around owning the business and making money off of NPCs coming in rather than you being a client and going to one of those lots. It would have been nice to see it worked from both angles. So now I think it would be cool to head over to the Gamelvik neighborhood, and I think it would be nice to check out this Const Modern Museum. Oh, the lot is really pretty. I really like this. Nice mix of like traditionalist and modern. Okay, so it looks like this museum we can literally just walk in and view things just as you can in the base game. And I feel like it would have been a nice opportunity here to like have some kind of entry system for clients. Sorry, these pop-ups are driving me insane. There's so many pop-ups. Oh my goodness. There is another pottery area over here. And again, I think we can just use it all for free. It does cost us money like to make the actual item, but I feel like that's just the ingredients we're paying for. It would have been nice to have to like pay to be part of a class or something over here. I am looking forward to looking at Build Buy in a second because this is very pretty and I really like these planters. I think they're from the pack as well. Oh, I really like this area over here. It's very, very me-core. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the style of all of these little items. I think they did a really good job with some of these Sims as well. Like, look at this guy. My goodness. So I like the design of the lot. It's definitely very nicely decorated and nice and spacious and airy. But yeah, I think my main criticism would be like, it would be great to see some kind of way that your Sims don't get to do everything for free all the time. Don't get me wrong, I want my Sims to have money, but it would have been cool to have more of a client experience, I guess. So for these activities, you can actually ask for mentoring, but it doesn't charge your Sim, I don't think, if you do. They're just kind of like professionals that hang about and are there to help you if you need. So this is the lounge we got in the older neighbourhood. Now, I'm not going to lie, it does kind of look like a British council house. I guess it's an old townhouse that's been turned into a lounge. The interior is absolutely gorgeous, though. I really, really like what they've done here. Okay, Dwayne, go off with your matching hair. I can't stop looking at the decoration in here. It's such a vibe. They've definitely really upped their game on townie designs, like the outfits and the actual faces and everything looks so much better now. Like the Sims actually look like they've got personalities. Okay, and upstairs we've got some bathrooms, very nicely designed. Okay, opposite the lounge, it looks like we've got a little beach area, which is nice that we can swim in. Oh, okay, so if you visit a small business residential from the map, you can actually choose if you visit the household part or the business part, which makes a lot more sense. Okay, so first of all, absolutely stunning lot. I love, love, love what they've done to make it kind of blend in with the set dressing around it. These brightly coloured houses, very, very cute. Definitely adds to the small business vibe where it's like old buildings being turned into something, you know? And inside is so cozy. It's definitely giving hygge. I'm probably not saying that right. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, looks like there's some sort of class going on here, so I can listen to writing lecture. Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Maybe it was just where there was nothing happening on the other business lots earlier, but it wasn't very clear to me. Okay, as we can see here, our writing skills going up. So it looks like this pack came with its own coffee bar, so we can have cafes outside of Get Together now. I don't remember these little cups looking like that. That's adorable. I love how cozy this cafe looks though, with the light coming in and the plants and everything. They did a really, really good job. And then upstairs is the residential area for the Sims that are living on this lot. It's also very nicely designed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really, really want to look at the build by items now properly. Overall, the design of the world is really pretty and it did feel like it did the inspiration justice. I maybe would have liked to see more unique areas outside of just the hobby meetups that would bring new elements of gameplay, and some more pre-designed colourful residential lots would have been really nice. Speaking of, I moved our sim into this old house to check out the build by. First of all, the colour palette on most of the build by stuff like this wallpaper is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not much of a builder, but I do like decorating, and honestly this pack makes me want to do a whole lot more of it. I always thought we didn't have enough plain but pretty wallpapers, so this is great. And then floor wise, we got some basic planks in a lot of nice natural swatches. Most of the build by stuff is right up my alley, I won't lie. I'm a sucker for neutrals and minimalist furniture, so this is definitely worth it if you'd like to look at build by stuff when deciding to get a new pack. By the way, when I say basic, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have its own style, because it's really nicely designed. I'd love to know what the design style of this kind of furniture is called. If you do know, let me know in the comments. We had some really nice fairy lights that came in lots of different angles, so you can get really creative with the different shapes you make. I love this little bike and the swatches we got for it too. It's perfect for riding around the old town. Then we got all of the business oriented items, and honestly I'm really glad they added so much residential stuff in the build by, because they could have gone the route of just adding things in the theme of the pack, like the stuff we got from Get to Work, but there's a lot of great options as well as just the business items, and also this little picnic basket which is functional, and I believe it's used in one of the meetup events. So I wanted to test out what it was like to own a business, and I thought it'd be nice to start with a ceramics cafe. You can only start up a business on a lot you own already, and for now that was just my residential lot, but I did want to start a business on a different lot initially, and as I was just starting the game I obviously didn't have enough funds to buy a whole new lot. That's why I think it would have been really nice to see a business loans feature with a system that allows you to borrow money to get up and running and then be able to pay back as you make profit. This would have been the pack to add this feature to, and it would have allowed me to get into the gameplay part of this pack much quicker if I wanted to. Anyway, instead I set up a small business on the ground floor of my residential lot to test out what it was like. It's not the prettiest, but I am not a builder, so bear with me please. We didn't have access to the gallery in the alpha build. Then I went ahead and set the public and residential areas to separate the business from my Sims apartment. Once you've registered a business, you get a menu down here that's similar to the one that we get in other packs like Dine Out. From here you can manage employees, spend perk points to determine what kind of business you want to run, track your business growth and set employee activities. The tea and coffee area that I initially made didn't have a coffee bar because I wanted to keep it a bit more low key, but making the tea and coffee on normal machines isn't a monetizable activity, so I had to add in the coffee bar after the fact. There's only a finite amount of activities that you can actually monetize, so that's something to keep in mind. It would have been nice to be able to set a maximum customer limit as well, as there were a lot of Sims on my lot at one point, and for a small business this didn't feel very realistic. I did notice Sims weren't taking their finished creations home, instead they were infinitely glazing them, so I was having to scrap the pieces to avoid them piling up and occupying the machines. Hopefully that's fixed before release. I did really like that Sims can get different buffs, like this one where she's feeling icky from being covered in clay, which if you've done pottery is definitely a thing. I did notice some Sims wander into the residential area though, despite the fact that I had set up the boundaries, which was a little odd. This sim even wandered into my bathroom and took a shower. Once I was level 5 in the pottery skill, I was able to teach other Sims and monetize it, as I had added it as a business activity. Side note, I really like the different designs of the pottery pieces. We did get a lot of different functional items. Then at the end of the day, I got a report and tips on what I could improve, which I really liked. Overall, it was a really fun experience and I'll definitely be playing a lot with this pack. I feel like the business part could be covered more in depth in its own video. Maybe I could try out some different ideas, maybe some shady companies, so let me know if you'd want to see that. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the pack so far.